Hi guys, welcome to Layo's Tribe again. As you can see, I still have Farida in the house. In today's video, we are just talking about life as immigrants in the UK and Canada. So I'll be coming in with the Canada perspective, how life has been so far, while she talks about how life has been in the UK. Also, don't forget that we both didn't come in as students, so it might be a different reality for students in the UK or in Canada. Okay, welcome, Farida.
Thank you.
So, today's topic, like you heard before, is just different angles as immigrants. How has life been generally as an immigrant? But in particular, I would want us to start with dating and relationships in the UK. How is that like?
Okay, so even though I didn't come in as a student, I was a student in 2020 before leaving.
Right.
And during that time was when I was dating my current partner.
Okay, but was it in the UK at the time?
He was in the UK, so it was a long distance UK/Nigeria relationship.
You were in Nigeria.
I was in the UK.
And he was in Nigeria. Okay.
Yes. So, yeah, that was difficult, weird, being just using the phone the entire time. But I still think the same, rule applies, same communication, because...
But, sorry to interrupt you, but what would you say is like for people that are in the, for a single lady in the UK, for example?
Yeah, you would have to keep your options open because think about it, the pool is already really small. When you're in Nigeria, you have like a lot more options, but when you move to a place, especially if you are particular about the kind of person you want to date, maybe you feel like you only want a black person, maybe you only want someone from Nigeria, maybe you only want a Christian, you don't want to date anyone religion, your pool becomes smaller. So you may want to, keep an open mind and be straightforward about really what you want.
I think for Canada it's probably the same thing, and for most people I know they already have someone they are dating back home. However, for someone that is single and then relocated, I don't think they find it very easy. Also, a lot of them make use of these dating sites and apps just to try to see
and I think perhaps a bit of a generalization here, but we're not very open people. There are people that you find they want a partner, they want to be with someone, but if you tell them about dating apps, they're like, hell no.
You shy away from things like that.
Exactly. But you have to extend yourself. At a certain point, you have to extend yourself, of course, within your boundaries, within what you feel comfortable. But just know you have to, step out a bit to get what you want.
Okay, but in terms of friendship, I've been here for a while and I don't think I have any friends.
You're a homebody. so of course you won't find them in the bedroom. you have to go outside.
Right. So what would you say friendship is like in the UK? Do you have friends there?
Well, I'm trying. In the same way you have to extend yourself for a relationship, because a friendship is a type of relationship as well. You also have to extend yourself, and I think females view friendship in a certain way, but there's nothing wrong with meeting a lady who you feel like your values align, you like her, to say, I want to be your friend, I want to see how we can be together. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
Right. But aside going out often to meet people, where else do you think people can?
Social media.
Oh, okay.
You can meet people on social media. So people have a good friend I have now is because she reached out to me on LinkedIn.
Oh, nice.
She reached out to me on LinkedIn. We had a few conversations that we've seen physically now.
Okay.
So you can't be closed off, and you also need to put in the effort.
Okay, that would be part of my plan for the year.
Exactly.
At least one.
Toast them.
I will. I'll try. Maybe just one at least.
Yes.
Okay.
Sometimes mosques still can be good if you're Muslim or church. If you have a religious place where you go to maybe once.
Because we have this thing here, the ISNN. It's like Islamic. I'm not sure about the full. It's just for Muslims in Nova Scotia, like Nigerian Muslims generally. But you know what's surprising? Most of the people there, it's like they are married, so it's like husband and wife with their children, and I'm not even sure if they have
single ladies, young ladies.
So you know, even that
They
is a
should.
bit
Yeah.
because you being a part of that group, and then you might be the only single
You
lady
feel
there.
left out. Maybe they're talking about daycare,
Yes.
and you're just like, I have nothing to contribute to
I
this
can't relate.
conversation. So yeah, I understand. Well, yeah, social media, going out, put yourself out there.
I just think one needs to be very intentional. Maybe I've not
Exactly,
been
that's the word.
intentional enough, but
Yes.
also a lot of people complain about depression. Well, I wouldn't say that I can relate directly to that, but I think my very first winter experience, I beg your pardon, it was not pleasant.
Of course.
I struggled a lot with it, with my emotions and so many things happening at the same time.
Yeah.
So maybe that is depression for some people. I don't know. But what would you say about you being with your family abroad and still depressed?
Well, I think it has to do with what's this thing called? Is this seasonal affective disorder?
Sad. Yeah.
That could also affect people because we're from a place where it's sunny all the time, and even chemically, the sun helps with your mood. It boosts your mood.
Right.
It makes you feel good. So when you get to a place where from getting like 10 hours of sun, you're getting maybe 1 or 2 hours, it gets dark. Of
It's
course, it will take
depressing.
a toll. Yeah. So, and then if you combine that with people who don't have family,
Right. And some
it
are
becomes
trying to
something else.
get their jobs, some are trying to, they're
There's
struggling
just
with a lot of things at the same
Exactly.
time.
There's just a lot, and you don't have friends to talk to. You can't hang out. Yeah, it can get difficult.
Okay. And also another thing I feel like immigrants, the reality of a lot of immigrants here in Canada is, I mean, for most people, don't let me talk about everyone. For most people in Canada, be it students or a permanent resident, they're already looking at, oh, I need to get this Canadian citizenship. That is my plan, and in 3, 4, 5, whatever the case may be, I should be able to get it.
Yeah.
So is that something you think when you think of the UK and immigrants there, is it the same perspective?
I think so. Because ultimately, immigrants move out. They want freedom. They
What
want
do you mean by freedom?
of access.
Oh, okay.
And that is what a passport gives you, to be
Mhm.
honest. Because even when you're thinking of countries to go to where you may be able to get this passport, you're looking at their, index, like how many countries can I go to, what are the benefits of having that. So I think it's generally the same for immigrants. They want to have that, that privilege, that access that comes with having a different passport.
Right. So I had a couple of people reach out to me, even from the UK, trying to ask questions about, oh, okay, so I'm trying to relocate to Canada. And I'm like, okay, you've relocated to the UK and you've been there for years.
Yeah.
And I think the reality for a lot of people is after school, after the masters
next?
now, what's the next thing? So is it that students are not able to get jobs after school, or the jobs are not ready to sponsor them, or care jobs are like the only guaranteed kind of job students are able to get?
Both, to be honest, because you finished your school.
Right.
The only way you can stay back is either now you can get your postgraduate work visa, which should give you, I think, 2 years. But even within that 2 years, you're still looking for a job because you need a job to sponsor you to stay. And now, like I said before, you're applying for a job, but there are jobs perhaps everywhere, but the ones to sponsor, they are now
limited.
So now it's like a huge pool, and everyone is struggling for the same thing. So of course.
So here in Canada, after school, let's take for example, after school, one is not able to get a job immediately because you don't really need a company to sponsor you in Canada to stay back. So in the process of, I have my work permit, there are different pathways that are open that one can take advantage of. For example, the Atlantic province, like Nova Scotia, they have the AIP program that is opened for students that have actually gone to school here. So they have different other pathways. There is the Canada entry class. So you are not really waiting. And I think that, like, as a result of that, we are not really desperate to I mean, the desperation might stem from I need money,
Yeah.
but not from I need
to
stay in the country. So there are different pathways
Yeah.
one can legally remain in the country. So I think that's a plus.
I think these are part of the reasons why many people prefer to come to Canada. You know, because once you come in, you are illegal. You have a legal status. There'll be a way. You know, there'll be a way out. But you find that in UK, people are pushed into like desperation.
Right.
You know, because once you're done with school, yeah, you can get your postgraduate work visa, but that just even started, I think, 2021. So before then, you have to have your job within, I think, 3 or 4 months.
And I did jobs like that.
A job that would sponsor you, that
within
you
that
like.
time frame.
Yeah.
So one thing I miss about home is the food.
Ooh.
So
you want me?
You see all those grilled things you can easily get on the streets.
My God.
I miss those things.
Yeah.
Fine, we have African stores and even African restaurants around, but they are not. I don't know if I would say they are not so affordable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And even when you can afford them, you won't want to splurge on that every day.
Of course.
So how has it been like for you as an immigrant? Do you eat their food in the UK, or how do you balance both?
Well, I eat their food, but typically at home I cook Nigerian food. That's the major thing. I just cook Nigerian food. And yeah, like you said, the African restaurants, but you can't go there to eat every day.
Every day.
So if there's something you like to eat, you can learn to make it on YouTube. People who live in like London, they have these things more readily available. You know, many restaurants, and because you have so many, you know, become cheaper.
Right, they are not so cheap.
But some other places not as much. So we have a lot of African stores, so we're able to get ingredients at least, and you can learn how to make what you need to make.
Okay, so another thing is, as immigrants, I've heard a lot of people say that when we relocate, we are not as religious as we used to be. Is it because our prayer points have changed at that point and we are not asking God for electricity? Or, I mean, you understand, it's like, it's just different. Would you say that is like true for, maybe in your own experience, would you say it is true?
I think any kind of major change may affect your iman. I'm speaking from a Muslim perspective now. So I think any kind of major change
doesn't really have to be relocation.
It doesn't have to be relocation. Anything can affect it. And then we are communal. Like back at home, there's probably a mosque, a church everywhere you go, and we always do things in groups. But now you are left to rely on your own, you know, you to push yourself. At home, you would have, you know, neighbors coming to call your friends, oh, we're going to the mosque, we're doing this. But now you largely have to rely on your own self to push. And it's not always easy.
Right.
You know, it's always an up and down thing. So you have to work, I think, extra hard to, you know, keep yourself on the path you want to be on. You will falter, that's normal, absolutely normal. But you will try to pick yourself up. And it's also good if you find communities like the one you mentioned to help you, because no man should be alone, really.
Yes, I think it really helps when you have community of people you can relate with, be it religious or whatever it is that you think can bring you together with those people. Just try to be a member and take advantage of that.
Yes, even if it's just daily reminders, you know, just something.
Okay. So I think I have one last question and then we'll wrap this up for today.
Okay.
Do you think relocating to the UK was worth it for you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It absolutely was worth it for me. Like, I have been professionally, I've been exposed to, you know, technology I never thought was possible.
Okay.
You know, I have more opportunities to prove myself. I've been able to, you know, do things and see results immediately. Right. So for me, from a professional point of view, even personal, it's been worth it. Absolutely.
Okay. It was absolutely, and it is still worth it for me. I think that's one of the best decisions I've ever taken, relocating to Canada. So will I do it again? Definitely, I will do it again.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much for agreeing to do this with me. I really appreciate you coming to the show, and thank you for watching. If you are still sticking around till this point, I really appreciate.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, please do like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys.
Bye.